You will notice at the front there is a spray of flowers in memory of Ben Miranda, whose memorial service was held yesterday in Phoenix. We had Ben for 11 months and enjoyed working with him very much. Would ask the Chancellor to make some comments.
President Burke, members of the Governing Board, as you just mentioned, Governing Board member Ben Miranda passed away on Friday, November 15, 2013. Nomination procedures and processes for appointment of college governing board members by Maricopa County Superintendent of Schools indicate that we declare the vacancy on the Maricopa Community Colleges District Governing Board and notify the Maricopa County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Don Covey. President Burke, I respectfully request that you, as board chair, declare this vacancy. I will contact Dr. Covey to discuss the process he will use, and I will keep you informed of the process as it occurs. We are all saddened by the news of Mr. Miranda's passing. He was a true public servant committed to helping his community and all citizens of the state of Arizona. We again send our condolences to his wife, Catherine Miranda, and his entire family. Let us take a moment to honor Mr. Miranda's service to all the students and employees of the district. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dr. Glasper, for informing us of the process. I hereby declare his seat vacant and ask that you transmit the information to Dr. Covey, and we appreciate your keeping up. In memory of Ben, we would like to show a series of photographs of Ben, a retrospective of Ben's career. And
Sorry about that.
okay.
El orgullo de ser mexicano, latino, de raíces de México es algo muy, muy cerca a mi corazón, simplemente porque estamos viviendo una vida que va a cambiar Arizona, va a cambiar todo el Estados Unidos por la cantidad de nuestra gente y el impacto que tenemos nosotros, no solamente políticamente, pero económicamente también. I wish we had more time too.
There's a hole in the world that you used to fill. That hole will remain unfilled until everyone you knew and everyone you touched are all dead and gone. You meant that much. Lives will come and lives will go, but you can stay long after you go if you make a difference while you're here. Make a difference to those who are near. If you keep on giving in death, you still keep living.
audiencia que habla español. El mensaje para nosotros es que no estamos solos aquí. Hemos oído de muchas personas que nos apoyan en estos tiempos y es difícil. Y estos tiempos son difíciles y son históricos. Y les digo, por favor, el mensaje para ustedes que vinieron a este país para aprovechar, para hacer algo bueno en este país. Les pido, por favor, que no pierdan esperanza y que hagan todo lo posible para plantar una semilla en la generación que van a dejar en este país, que sigan ustedes, que no solamente el voto va a ser importante, pero también las experiencias que ustedes tienen en este país, que darles un buen ejemplo a nuestra juventud. Muy importante. Gracias.
One of the lyrics of the song was "Make a Difference in the World," and Ben did. In the early months of his being on the board, he oftentimes said, I'm new here, but as the months went along, he said that less and less. He invested himself in the work of the board, worked well with other board members, and we appreciate his service. Thank you. Mr. Sawyer, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have some substitutes tonight. Ms. Felicia Ganther is sitting in for Dr. Harper Mironick. Felicia, welcome. Brianna Bendati is sitting in for Dr. Jean Giovannini. Daniel Kaur is sitting in for Dr. Jan Gaylor. Welcome to all of you. The student life reports will be given by the Paradise Valley Community College Student Leadership Team. Mr. Mike Ho is working with that group. Mr. Ho.
Good evening. President Burke, members of the board, Dr. Glasper, CEC representatives, college presidents, MCCD, and community members. It is my honor to introduce the 2013-2014 Student Leadership Council of PVCC.
Good evening. Before we begin, on behalf of PVCC's Student Leadership Council and student body, we would like to offer our condolences for the friends and family on the passing of Governing Board Member Ben Miranda. Our hearts and minds are with them in this difficult time. My name is Geneva Patterson, and I am the chairperson for Paradise Valley. I'm the chairperson for Paradise Valley Community College's Student Leadership Council. Today, I've brought a few of my fellow council members to tell you more about PVCC's community initiatives, student advocacy, and civic engagement activities. First off, I'd like to mention that our KSC building has been remodeled and our Welcome Center is now open. SLC would like to graciously thank the governing board for their efforts and support for their vision and dedication to the completion of this initiative. Now, I'd like to first introduce Claire Goldberg to speak on behalf of our PVCC community.
Hello. On November 14th, we celebrated Native American History Month with an Indigenous Heritage Day with Native Pumas Club. A celebration was held in the courtyard outside the Student Union with music and dancing. Currently, we are working on our annual Adopt a Family project. We have adopted 10 families from Desert Mission Food Bank. We kicked off the event on November 21st with refreshments and pastries to ignite student interest in contributing to needy families. We are currently actively seeking donations from local grocery stores and students. Also, please allow me to introduce Megan Olino.
Thank you, Claire, and thank you to all the governing board members. Run Dead is a Halloween-themed 5K fundraising effort to benefit Phoenix Children's Hospital. This past October, Student Leadership Council, Diversity Incorporated, and the Student Honors Advisory Council held this first-year event on campus at Paradise Valley Community College. We involved between 60 and 80 student volunteers from Emerging Leaders, Diversity Incorporated, Student Honors Advisory Council, Dance Club, Club Ed, and the Puma Press in this service learning opportunity. We had 120 participating runners and countless community members that came out to engage in the family-friendly fun zone. And as we delivered our jumbo check of over $1,000 and we experienced a full tour of the hospital, we celebrated at our own finish line.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Rivera and I'm the Secretary for the Student Leadership Council. Student leaders have been passionate about civic engagement this semester. We had a civil conversation about opportunity with Who is Bayard Rustic Day. We shine the spotlight on one of the unsung heroes of the civil rights movement, Bayard Rustin, a man who organized the entire civil rights march in 2 months on his own. Also, the Emerging Leaders program put on Where Do You Stand Day. Students created poster boards to inform students about issues such as the Voting Rights Act, health care, teacher tenure, and the Stop Online Piracy Act, to give students pro and con views to help students come to their own conclusions on these important topics.
Hello, I'm Patrick Ryan, Executive Public Relations for the Student Leadership Council at Paradise Valley Community College. In November, our student leaders were invited to visit with the IMOR2 team to discuss the seamless student experience, student success initiatives, and college mascots. Also, our student leaders gave input to Connect to College campaign in order to give the student perspective on marketing. Also, we would be moving forward, we would like to present an idea we will be working on throughout the following year.
Hi, I am Ryan Dominic and I'm a student senator. Students of PVCC have expressed an interest in a week-long fall break. This is done in K through 12, other higher education institutions, and it would mirror our spring semester. We feel it would help students avoid burnout, get caught up with schoolwork, and give students more time to work over that week.
Hello, I am Leah Goldberg and I am also a student senator.
We think that MCCD would like the idea of a fall break because it would provide for a transition to more 8-week sessions and allow for buildings to shut down for cost savings. The potential staff and faculty might see the benefit as well. We are currently polling staff, faculty, and students as part of our information gathering for this campaign and presenting the results to college officials for review.
Thank you for taking your time to listen to PVCC student leaders. We appreciate your support at Paradise Valley Community College.
Thank you. Thank you for your reports. We are hearing from students in several colleges, and one of the themes from each of the reports is service of students to the community, and we appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Yeah, the services you did was outstanding as far as generosity, community engagement. You guys did an outstanding job. Really proud of the work you're doing.
The next item on the agenda is Emeritus Awards and Recognitions. The first is recognition of GCC's award-winning speech and debate team, Dr. Irene Kovala.
President Burke, members of the board, Chancellor Glasper, members of CEC, and honored guests, it's my privilege tonight to introduce our award-winning Glendale Community College forensics team. Let me tell you a little bit about them. This team is a national and international elite level speech and debate squad that competes in over 10 tournaments each academic year. For the past 3 years on the national level, the forensics team has consistently been nationally ranked as a top 20 community college speech and debate program. This year alone, the forensics team has compiled multiple top 3 sweepstakes finishes in San Diego and Los Angeles. Additionally, the forensics team competes in over 15 events, and this is the first year the debate team has also been nationally ranked for all colleges and universities in the nation. The team has grown to almost 20 members with over 40 distinct speeches qualifying for the national tournaments. At the international level, the forensics team has top 3 finishes at the International Forensics Association tournament in Bruges, Belgium, Rome, Italy, Budapest, Hungary, and Berlin, Germany. It's my privilege now to introduce 2 of the fine coaches that coach this team who will introduce our students. Please welcome Roxanne Arnston and Lauren Schwarzenwalter.
Good evening. As President Kovala mentioned, I'm Roxanne Arnson, one of the co-directors of the team, and tonight what we have is a demonstration. So we have 12 different distinct type of events on our speech and debate team. What you're going to see tonight is called impromptu speaking. And as many of you board members are, I'm sure, aware, there are many opportunities when you are asked a question, put on the spot, and must come up with a question or a response to a question pretty quickly. In this particular event, you're going to see the same type of thing, but we'd like a little bit of your involvement. So we've prepared 4 quotations. I'd like you to pick one of the quotations. We'll hand it to the students and give them only 30 seconds of time to prepare a speech in which they'll deliver in 3 minutes. So let me grab the quotation.
But we're not expected to do that.
Let President
Just pick one. Okay. Yeah. This is a quote from George Bernard Shaw. "I am not a teacher, only a fellow traveler of whom you ask the way."
of the greatest difficulties we face in life is leaving a legacy, what makes us our own. Unfortunately, the board recently lost a member that left a very specific legacy of education, of heart, and understanding. We'll be examining this and understanding this better through two main examples of further education in life. First, we'll be looking to a young teenager named Jack Andraka on the East Coast. And next, we'll be looking to the Oracle racing team, the America's Cup racing team. First, let's look to Jack Andraka, a 16-year-old whose uncle sadly passed away from pancreatic cancer, a terrible late death. But unlike many others of his age back, instead of saying, "This is horrible and this takes over my life," he decided to do something. Through research and a professor at his school, he developed a method to diagnose pancreatic cancer 26,000 times faster with a 90% effective rate and at 4 times less cost than current pancreatic cancer assessments. This is huge because what this does is this gives us the ability to further our lives and to continue those legacies that are cut short often by unexpected disease. Next, we'll be looking to the America's Cup racing team. Larry Ellison's Oracle racing team has been an outstanding team the past 2 years, winning the America's Cup, hands down. But they were faced with a huge problem this previous year. They were caught cheating, which hopefully none of us ever have been. The biggest issue was they had 5 pounds of extra ballast in the front of the boat, worth approximately $14 million, weighing 3.5 tons. But 5 pounds cost them $250,000 in a fine and 4 racing members from the team, along with a 2-race penalty against New Zealand. They came back in San Francisco and they won that race. With everything against them, decks stacked, they came back and they made it. So they're living a legacy and they're creating something out of incredible hardship. What we really see is that, like our board member as an example, leaving that legacy is what we are put on this earth to do. The reality is, should we decide to leave that legacy, it's up to us to do so on the individual level, despite the hardships. One of the things I appreciate very much about being here today is being able to visualize and being able to see our education choices. The Paradise Valley Community College students coming up here and telling us this is what we want to do for the student body, and having a board of people willing to listen and an audience willing to listen has made us fantastic and made us better students. I challenge you all today, please continue your legacy, because what you do here today influences generations to come.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
This is a quote from Ben Franklin. "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest."
While she's prepping, let me give a little introduction. This is Nate Gerhart. He is in his 2nd semester of competition, and prepping right now is JC Cantler, who has only been on the team for 2 months, but has already accumulated 4 individual first place trophies.
Wow.
15 seconds.
Although I spend 2 hours a day on forensics and forensics materials, what I get from it will last me a lifetime. This reminds me of the quotation I received today by Ben Franklin about investing in education, and I'll have the biggest payoff. My interpretation for this quotation is that investing in education is going to give rewards and major benefits. We will examine this quotation and analyze it through 2 different examples. First, we'll look at ancient Greece and doctor recommendations. Second, we'll look at 1950s smoking habits. So to begin, in ancient Greece, there is a famous Dr. Aurelius, and he specialized in headache treatment. Specifically, he said that you must burn the muscles on your head to get rid of the headache. Although this is Rather radical and not exactly true, it led to much innovation. He specialized in this one event and decided to be educated on headaches and certain treatments, which furthered knowledge and helped lead to innovations today. We have a radius to thank for certain medicines that will attack the muscle rather than our skull. As we can see with the radius, because he specialized in that education and he invested his time in that knowledge and research, he led to many innovations today. Another example of investment in education rewarding a big payoff is that of Dr. Harold Katz. First, in 1957, it was common for doctors to recommend smoking as a cure for bad breath. Today we know that is not the case. Dr. Harold Katz of TheraBreath, who was a bad breath expert, was one of the very first doctors to stand up and claim that that was not the case. Specifically, he said that the particles from smoking will stay in your lungs and in your throat hours after you smoke a cigarette. As we can tell with Dr. Harold Katz, he specialized in bad breath, and he specialized looking into cigarettes to challenge the status quo and to bring new truths to life. Today we examine the quotation by Benjamin Franklin about investment in education having a big payoff. My interpretation was that investing will bring great rewards. Specifically, when you invest in education, you're going to have massive benefits. We examined the fellow Radius, who is an ancient Greek physician, and he specialized in headache treatment. And this gave a big reward of us having innovations today. And then we looked at Dr. Harold Katz, who specialized in bad breath and invested all his time in researching what causes bad breath to give us the knowledge that cigarettes is actually bad for us, not good for us. So as the quotation stands, investing in knowledge and investing in education is going to produce much more than what you put in.
So thank you very much for your time. If you enjoyed this sampling, we'll be having a showcase demonstrating 10 different types of speeches on December 4th at GCC from 3 to 5 p.m. If you'd like more information, feel free to contact either myself or Dr. Lauren Schwartzwalter. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now, I have some questions on. I have some questions. And thinking about what you're going to do, I thought that you'd have a beginning, middle, and end, and take notes on that and go from there. But it looked like you had a beginning, 2 points you want to make, and then you conclude it. Is that what thought process do you teach and do you use when you're doing a 3-minute impromptu speech?
Yeah, much like the 3-paragraph essay format, if we learn that format, we can pretty much write any essay. Impromptu follows the same type of ideology. But we teach the 2 main points. So typically this is a 7-minute event with 2 minutes of preparation and 5 minutes of delivery. So typically they would have 2 main points, each with 2 examples to show kind of the application of their knowledge, that they can apply that one quotation in many different arenas.
Awesome.
I just want to say to the students, when you go on the Chautauqua circuit, I want to be your agent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next recognition is the NCSPOD Model Staff Awards recipient, Mr. James Bowers.
President Burke, members of the board, Chancellor Glasper, and members of CEC. Wanted to let you know that recently the Maricopa Community Colleges hosted the North American Council of Staff, Program, and Organizational Development, or NICSPOD, Annual International Conference here in Phoenix from October 23rd to October 25th. Our district director of our Center for Employee and Organizational Development, Pat Hanze, and her department were the lead organizers for this event. Pat also served as NICSPOD's Western Regional Vice President. Each year, NICSPOD recognizes model staff, and this year 4 Maricopa Community College employees received this honor. Our Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost, Dr. Maria Harper-Marinick, was given the College Chancellor's Award for the development and advancement of faculty and staff through collaborative sharing of expertise and resources. Michelle Shadburn, Manager of Organizational Development at Paradise Valley Community College, received the Roland Terrell Leadership Award given to strong supporters of developing faculty and staff so they can discover their strength, passion, and connection to Maricopa Community College's mission and vision. An award for sustainability, integration, and innovation was given to 2 faculty members, Roy Schesser, a geology faculty member, and Paul Petriquin, a history faculty member, both from Chandler Gilbert Community College. The award recognizes innovations and successes of the integration of sustainable development into education and learning. We extend our congratulations to each of the award recipients and to the Center of Organizational and Employee Development for hosting a successful conference. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is citizens interim. The board offers opportunity for members of the public to address the governing board. In compliance with open meeting law, the governing board will neither discuss nor take action on issues during this portion of the agenda. When necessary, issues will be taken under advisement and placed on a subsequent agenda. We have one request for citizens interim. Mr. Lucas Bodine, Associated Students of Mesa Community College.
President Burke, members of the board, Chancellor Glasper, members of the CEC, and guests. I'm Lucas Bodine and president of the Associated Students of Mesa Community College. On behalf of ASMCC and with regard to the recent passing of Mr. Ben Miranda, I offer our condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues. I've had the wonderful opportunity to associate with Mr. Miranda in an open forum and in college leadership meetings at Mesa Community College's campus. It was always evident that Mr. Miranda had the student's perspective at the forefront of his leadership. He was willing to get out of the box to engage in meaningful conversations and had a bright perspective for the future of the district. Last Wednesday at a school event, the students at MCC and all who were present observed a moment of silence in Mr. Miranda's legacy. We, the Associated Students of Mesa Community College, offer our thoughts and prayers to the Miranda family. Once again, we are grateful for Mr. Miranda's dedicated service to the district, community, and to the students. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was beautiful, Lucas. Thank you for stepping up and speaking for the students.
We now move to the approval of the order of the agenda. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move. Second.
Mr. Sarr moves, Mr. Lum seconds the approval of the agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, the next item is the consent agenda, and I will point out that one item, 4D8, was mistakenly placed on the consent agenda and needs to be moved to the non-consent agenda and renumbered as item VC1. Does anyone wish to remove any other item on the consent agenda? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Lum moves, Mr. Sarr seconds a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? And all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The non-consent agenda, the first is with Dr. Glasper, the approval of authorization of increased expenditure for web remediation consulting services. Dr. Glasper?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I would like to ask Mr. Ed Kelty to come forward on this item, please.
Good evening, Mr. Burke, members of the board, CEC, and guests. We are requesting approval of an increased expenditure up to $2.6 million for Eagle Creek to assist us in the remediation and repair, as well as the creation of a entirely new web system for the Maricopa environment.
Any questions? None? I would entertain a motion to approve the authorization of increased expenditure for web remediation consulting services. Mr. Sarr moves, Mr. Lum seconds the motion. Any discussion?
Just so there's no misconception, we've had discussions about this in other open meetings, so I appreciate bringing this to the board.
Thank you.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item is the approval of authorization for fees and costs for Wilson, Elser, Moskowitz, Edelman, and Dicker LLP. Dr. Glasper?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, it is recommended that the governing board authorize the expenditure not to exceed an additional $7 million contracted through Wilson, Elser, Moskowitz, Elderman, and Dicker to provide services related to the One Maricopa Security Enhancement Project.
Is there a motion to approve?
I move we approve this item.
Mr. Lum moves. Mr. Sarr seconds. A motion to approve the authorization for fees and costs for Wilson, Elser, Moskowitz, Edelman, and Dicker. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item deals with human resources, the approval of the Chancellor's contract for employment 2013-2016. Mr. Bowers, would you care to comment?
Yes, President Burke, members of the board, with this item, it is recommended that the governing board approve the proposed Chancellor's contract of employment for a 3-year term. The contract is dated November 26, 2013. The governing board has discussed this matter in executive session. The effect of this action will be to approve a new contract of employment for the Chancellor and extend the current contract by 1 year for a 3-year term beginning retroactive effective July 1st, 2013.
Great. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sarr moves. Mr. Lum seconds the motion for the approval of the Chancellor's contract for employment 2013-2016. Any discussion?
I just want to say how much we appreciate what the Chancellor does for us. We're a large organization, 270,000 plus students registered this year. What we get for his service makes things happen much more so than any of us sitting up here. And we look forward to having him for the next 3 years.
Thank you.
All right. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is an information item. Oh, VC1, right, okay. Yeah, let me go back and look. Okay. The next item is the approval of construction manager at risk selection for Allied Health and Dental Program remodel at 3144 North 7th Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona for Phoenix College.
Wrong one.
Number 8, okay. My mistake, sorry. It's the approval of the final contract award for the construction of the new student portal and remodeling of buildings 37, 38, 38A, and 39 at Mesa Community College. Let's see, and Deborah, Ms. Pearson?
Mr. President, members of the board.
Pearson.
Deborah Thompson.
No, I'm sorry.
Thompson.
We have another Deborah, don't we? My apologies.
President, no problem. Mr. President, members of the board, this is a major project for Mesa Community College. It's part of our 2004 bond program, and it will add over 18,000 gross square feet to the college and renovate approximately 30,000 square feet, and we recommend its approval.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I move we accept this item.
Mr. Lum moves.
Second.
Mr. Sarr seconds a motion for the approval of a final contract award for the construction of the new student portal and remodeling of buildings 37, 38, 38A, and 39 at Mesa Community College. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, this will be kind of a final project to get the one-stop service center in the Mesa campus, our largest campus, finished, and I look forward to that day. Thank you.
Okay. All right, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, now we are to the non-consent action item, and to information item, the review of the chancellor's interpretations. Each of the board members has received a copy of the chancellor's interpretations. These follow our work this year to look at all of our policies. We rewrote some of those policies and moved some of them over into the chancellor's area for interpretations. And the chancellor has provided those to us, and I'm asking the board whether you have any comments or questions about this document.
Let me just say that this is a vast improvement over what was there previously, and it'll give us an opportunity to a couple things. One, we shifted a lot of administration to administration, so the board can move with its obligations and work in the policy area itself. The interpretations that we got from the chancellor are well-written, and we'll do everything that interpretations of limitations, in other words, the fence that we built around the area that the chancellor can operate and get his work done. It gives us a chance to evaluate that much more thoroughly, and I think in the long run, this will make the board and the chancellor relationship much more effective and hopefully move the entire district in the right direction in a long ways.
No, I appreciate all the work that's been done. Like, especially thank the Chancellor and Teresa Tony for all the work involved in this, and the board members also. And I think it gives us some guidelines to develop policy with.
Right. The board rewrote policies in January 2011. This year, we looked at them again, and we will be doing so in the future. Our business is making policy, setting goals or ends for the district. We will continue to do that in order to prepare for the future. And so this is a process that will be ongoing, I believe. All those in favor of the motion, please.
No vote.
Oh, that's right, no motion. All right. We will vote on this in December.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the chancellor's interpretations are for information only. It is not an action item. What the board will be doing on a regular basis, whether it be monthly, quarterly, or annually, evaluating each product that I bring to the board in terms of a monitoring report, in terms of a reference report to an activity or outcomes. And so I will be evaluated on an ongoing basis rather than at the end of any given year. And we will make changes based upon a document that will be provided to the board each time we bring something to them, such as the burn report on a monthly basis.
But do we not at some time accept the interpretations?
But you do not take a vote on accepting the interpretations because it's not part of policy.
All right. All right. Any other comments or questions?
No.
Okay. Monitoring reports, let's see, didn't you used to be Ms. Thompson?
Mr. President, members of the board, this is the budget analysis report for the general fund through October of this year, so the first 4 months of the fiscal year. Our spending is as we expect and consistent with prior years. The same is true of our revenue collections, and we do expect to meet the financial stability requirement of the board and have a slight increase in fund balance at the end of the year.
Part of our new structure is to is for the board to hear reports. This would be a monitoring report, and we would normally approve this, but we are moving this to January because we just received the interpretations, and we will begin that process in January. The next item on the agenda is a discussion item. We are not voting tonight. 2 months ago, we had some students address the board, and they requested that we pass a resolution in favor of DACA students receiving a driver's license. Subsequently, I was presented a revised resolution that they wanted us to vote on, which not only included the driver's license, but also included a resolution asking the Attorney General of Arizona not to oppose in-state in-state tuition for DACA students. Now, we are not voting on that tonight. We are discussing whether the board should entertain resolutions that are political in nature. And so I'd ask the board for their comments about this.
My thoughts on us taking a stand on the DACA students receiving driver's license and in-state tuition. I think there's an important issue to our students that we need to be strong on. We should take a stand on. I think everyone in Arizona should get a driver's license. I don't see any connection to being a citizen. If someone hits me, I'd like to know who they are, and I would like them to be insured. We require everybody to be insured. So I think it's a safety thing. Of course, there's discrimination issues why they are legal residents, why they're not allowed to have driver's license. I think is very discriminatory, and I think we should take a stand because there are students, and discriminating against them is also saying that we should charge them out-of-state tuition when they are legal residents of the United States. And I think both issues are one issue. We should treat all students, all citizens fairly. And we're a political body, and I think they're just saying, take a stand, board. You should say something, do something. We need you as community leaders to take a stand.
Mr. Starr?
Well, I don't disagree with anything that was said, other than the fact that I question whether a governing board should be in the position to do so. I think individually we have every right to do that and should. But as a political body, especially when we're involved in litigation on the subject, it's not in our best interest as a board to make those kind of statements.
I see the request for the resolution as a request of the board to take a stand on a political issue. I can understand that students, the DACA students who are enrolled in our colleges, this affects them not having a driver's license. But that's just one area. There are a number of areas affecting all of our student bodies that might cause someone to come to the board to ask us to do a political resolution. I'm thinking of people who are now receiving getting insurance from the Affordable Care Act. Someone might come to us and say, we would like you to pass a resolution affirming the Affordable Care Act. Or they might come and say, we want you to pass a resolution condemning the Affordable Care Act. There may be students who have difficulty paying tuition because of economic reasons. And so someone might come to us asking us to take some sort of political stand on an economic issue. There are any number of political possibilities that someone might raise. There might be someone who would come to us to say, we would like for you to pass a resolution prohibiting abortion. Or someone might come to us and ask us to pass a resolution affirming a woman's right to have an abortion. And all of the examples I've given you affect our students one way or another. But for this board to be placed in a position to pass resolution on political issues is questionable to me. So I'm asking myself, what is there in our policy that would cause us to pass such resolutions? So we'd have to come back to that. Just what is in our policy that would justify our doing so? Comment?
I don't see the relationship to the policy justifying that.
But we operate by policy.
So we should have a policy to take stance on issues?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe that the governing board should be placed in a position to take stands on political issues. We did pass a resolution a little over a year ago about guns on campus, but that was a policy issue. It had to do with the safety of students and staff and the public on our college campuses. That dealt directly with our policies, and I think that was justifiable. So I don't see anything in our policies that would allow us to entertain political resolutions unless it dealt with our policies.
Do we have any policies on vehicles? People driving, requiring to have a license to drive to our campuses?
That's not in our policies, that's a state law.
I don't understand the logic, but I think they're just asking not only this body, but city councils and other boards to just take a stand, because we want to show that the community is involved in this, and the community cares about this, and the community is willing to take a stand, even though the Attorney General is not.
Mm-hmm. Any other comments? All right. Well, I'm not sure where we're going with this. We've each stated our positions, and currently there is no action then on the request to vote on that resolution. The next item on the agenda is community linkage, governing board reports. Mr. Lam?
First of all, I'd like to thank you, Doyle, for bringing up the issue and letting us discuss it. It could have been stuffed on the table and not discussed at all, and you gave us, as each board members, an opportunity to take a public stance on how we felt and not keep it under the table. So I appreciate your leadership in that. There's several events that we all went to, and they're fantastic, and it just makes me so impressed with the work that people do. So at this time of Thanksgiving, let me give thanks to the faculty and staff that do such an awesome job. They went to the Adelaide Health Summit, which is very impressive. Thank you at Gateway College, and you see the work that the students and the faculty are doing in trying to lead Arizona into health and safety standards and a trained workforce in that area. And I think it's so important to have good nurses and good people in the health field. And it's just impressive of that workshop was to further knowledge, further inform people on issues. That was awesome. The Student Success Conference, Mayor Harper Marinick and her staff, thank you for all the work you did on that. I thought that was really impressive. The workshops are good. My goodness, you know, the people are saying that the high school teachers are better trained than we give training for our faculty as far as teaching skills and stuff like that. And I thought we just did an awesome job. And what's the latest topics and what we're doing, where we're going. Three of us went to the Arizona Commission on Post-Secondary Education. And Doyle, thanks for setting that up and inviting us. And we had a meeting with all the board members around the state. I think it was the first time in the 5 years that I've been here that I've ever had a meeting with all the board members in the state of Arizona that, you know, chose to show up. So that was very impressive, and that conference was very impressive. The one workshop was Maria Harper Marinick's on the saving $5 million in textbooks. The work on that, it's just very impressive, and I think we lead the state in so many ways. So thank you, faculty, and for the awesome job, and it makes me proud to be part of this community.
Thanks. Sorry.
I went to many of those as well and had the same reaction. I think think back on the last few weeks and the activities I've been fortunate to attend. most of them involve our students and how well they do, whether it's athletics, theater production, music, academics, and on and on. It's just always impressive to know how well our students do. And a lot of it obviously has to do with the efforts made by our staff, but it never fails to amaze me the talent and the effort that our students bring to this institution. It's pretty exciting. I will mention the one event that I really enjoyed more than anything else was the Chancellor's Walk Up South Mountain. I made it. Going down was easy. The going up was a challenge, but it was good exercise, a good morning for a lot of people that came to your event, and I applaud you for putting that on, and look forward to doing the same thing again next year if I'm able.
Thank you. I went to a reception for Dr. Stephen Gonzalez at Gateway Community College earlier this month. Had a nice turnout. We were able to use that new building, the patio on the third floor. It was a beautiful site, a very good event. Attended a donor appreciation dinner for Mesa Community College. Heard testimonies from students who are in an entrepreneurship program. It was an event to honor donors, but also it was an attempt to raise some more funds for the college. So it was a good event. Attended a Veterans Center dedication at Mesa Community College, a wonderful facility. We're having a number of these facilities around the district, and Mesa opened theirs in the fall, and it's a lovely place for veterans where they can get tutoring help and other services. Several of us attended the National Association for Community College Entrepreneurship that was held at Rio. The room was full, and one of the staff members for NACCE said that the number of area meetings that they've had around the country, this was the best attended. So it was a really great day. And then, along with the others, I attended the Arizona Commission for Post-Secondary Education last Thursday and Friday in Phoenix. It's a very busy month. The internal community, Chancellor's report.
Mr. Burke, members of the board, I would like to echo the comments of our board members in terms of the activities over the last month. I attended quite a few of those as well. And I would like to also echo the voices that we heard from our students in terms of performances, in terms of speaking at some of the building openings and programs and fundraising events. We have some awesome students, and our students say it better than we could ever say in terms of their gratitude for our system, for our support, for leading with quality. I've had quite a bit of opportunity the last couple of months to be on panels with other institutions, our four-year institutions, and we're being asked to the table more often now. We're working quite diligently with the Arizona Ready group, the Arizona Ready Council, in terms of finding our own goal to be a part of the Arizona Ready goals. Previously, there was a K-12 goal and a university goal, and the goal for the universities was to increase the number of baccalaureate degrees by the year 2020. One goal that our board has already adopted in terms of our outcomes by increasing by 50% by the year 2020. The recognition from the council is that the community colleges were missing, and the recognition came because there were some voices in the room as well. And the statements were, how can you get there without us? And so there were some recommendations that were provided from others in the room, in addition to myself, that in essence said, and was supported by Dr. Craig Barrett, that we should have our own goal as community colleges. So we are pleased that we have an opportunity to have our own goal as will be represented in the Arizona Ready Council. I also would like to thank the board for its continued support of all of our activities around our district. I think it's important as we sit at the tables of new activities at GPEC this morning. I was was with a group that was looking at the Maricopa business plan. And part of that business plan talks about how we engage our students in many different areas, including the engineering and all of the different momentum steps in order for us to move a student from our colleges into the engineering ranks. And we talked about the fact of the pathway projects that we have with our university systems, and that we are mapping back our individual programs so that our students will have seamless pathways to move to the universities. But the other comment that came up was the connection to career and technical education and working with the JTEDs and making sure that there is a seamless pathway across the entire continuum. And what I also had an opportunity to be engaged in this month was the empowerment zone concept that I put out about 8 years ago. Rio has really stepped forward in exemplifying that at the community and at the different sites. And all of our colleges have some aspects of empowerment zones where the college is a focal point, but we bring in the community-based agencies, we bring in the cities and towns, and we talk about the need for partnerships. As I mentioned before, we will not be able to achieve our goals unless we break down the silos of all of our institutions and begin to share resources and be willing to be on the same site with other institutions for the benefit of our students and our community. And the voices are being heard, and people are coming to us and asking us to be a part of what is happening with our economy. And one of the main reasons is the universities are doing a great job with baccalaureate degree students, master's degree students, and graduate students, doctoral students as well. But we're finding that many of them are leaving the state. And as we start looking at our community college students, as we start talking about certificates and degrees that we are responsible for, stackable credentials that allow a student to come in and out of the workplace and still have a livable wage, that is a role that we are playing not only in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of energy, in terms of many different aspects within our community. So I encourage us to understand the role that we have, the mission that we have, and be at the table. I'm very proud of our CEC members. We now sit on more boards than we've ever sat on in our local communities and also nationally, and our voices are being heard, and now we need to continue to step up, and with your support we will. Thank you.
Faculty Executive Council report, Dr. Patricia Finkenstein.
Thank you. President Burke, members of the board, Dr. Glasper, members of the CEC, and guests. It is with heavy hearts that the Faculty Association offers our condolences on the loss of Governing Board member Ben Miranda. Our thoughts are with Mr. Miranda's family and friends during this difficult time. As a tribute to his service to the Maricopa Community Colleges District and to his family's broader support for education in Arizona, the Faculty Association has made a donation in Mr. Miranda's name to the Maricopa College's Faculty Foundation in support of scholarships for students enrolled within the Maricopa Community College District. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you. I do not have any employee group reports listed.
President Burke, if I may, governing board members, Chancellor Glasper, and members of the CEC, Alicia Hand, the president of the Adjunct Faculty Association, is ill this evening and could not attend, but she asked me if I would extend condolences on the passing of governing board member Miranda on their behalf.
Thank you very much. Vice Chancellor reports, I have no one listed. College reports, Mesa Council on College, Dr. Sean Van.
Yes. President Burke, members of the governing board, Chancellor Glasper, CEC colleagues, guests, good evening. In 2009, City of Mesa, Mesa Public Schools, and Mesa Community College were invited by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to apply for a planning grant under the Community Learning in Partnership Initiative. In the subsequent year, the three organizations applied became one of 4 sites across the nation to receive a 3-year, $3 million implementation grant. This Clipper initiative was renamed later on called Mesa Council College. This focused on transforming systems, policies, practices to double the rate of degree certificate completion among low-income, underserved youth in the city between the ages of 16 and 26. This 3-year grant has now come to a close, but Mesa Council College as an initiative will be continuing. The partner organizations had remarkable accomplishments during the last 3+ years. We are committed to continue this work. Several initiatives will be sustained through shared commitment. The City of Mesa will take the lead for the next 2 years, a part of a revolving leadership model. Tonight, I'm proud to ask Kathleen Perales, Associate Dean for Enrollment Management, but also MCC's lead person to Mason College, Dr. Naomi Story, retired faculty director for Mason Council College, to give us an update and the plans for the future. But I would be remiss not to acknowledge Ms. Cassie Bryce, who is a lead person for Mesa Public Schools. In the last few years, we have always enjoyed great partnerships with Mesa Public Schools, but Cassie has been instrumental in moving forward. So thank you for your support, your presence tonight. Kathleen?
Thank you. Good evening, President Burke, Governing Board members, Chancellor Glasper, members of the CEC, and guests. We are pleased to be here tonight. As Dr. Pan had stated, I'm joined with my colleague, Dr. Naomi Story, and Ms. Kathy Parise with Mesa Public Schools, here to give you an update on our efforts with Mesa Council College. As you are aware, the partnership is between the City of Mesa, Mesa Public Schools, and Mesa Community College, and was a result of a grant we received through Bill and Melinda Gates called the Communities Learning in Partnership. And again, the purpose of the grant was to create systematic opportunities for our organizations to come together to impact collectively the college-going rate among our communities we're serving here in the East Valley, specifically with Mesa. Just to give you a little bit of a glimpse in terms of some data we've received and worked through, Mesa Public Schools, many of you are aware that Mesa Public Schools is considered to be one of the top K-12 districts here in the nation, and they do a beautiful job of working with their students and preparing them to go on to school. Many of those students do aspire to obtain college degrees. Unfortunately, there's a gap, though, between the time that they do enroll and the time that they're able to complete. And so our role, working with Mesa Public Schools and the city, as well as other community-based organizations, is to come together and see what can we do to further enhance those opportunities for our students. As Dr. Pan had said, the grant was from 2010 to 2013, and while the grant has ended, certainly the need for our support and our collective approach has not gone away. And so we've come together to restructure, to identify a new mission and vision for our efforts, and to really look at it as a collaborative alliance that includes not just our original partners, but also invites the opportunity to work with other key organizations within the community to impact not just college completion, but also workforce readiness and the overall quality of life in our community. Our target population does continue to be low-income Mesa residents with limited or no post-secondary credentials. We do have some successes. Some of them to highlight include our Mesa Healthcare Learner-Earned internships, the Mesa Urban Core, GED to MCC, and Pathways to Completion, which is an online resource tool for students to be able to identify through term sequencing the steps needed to obtain CTE programs, both with associated applied science degrees and certificates. Our strategies now going forward continue to be focused on resource development, community commitment and engagement, working hand in hand with workforce development, and then also ensuring that we're engaging disconnected youth through our pipeline efforts. Our partners include Mesa United Way, a New Leap, and Mesa Can, as well as a variety of partners within the healthcare industry. And in terms of what our steps are going forward, we want to continue to strengthen our partnerships with the existing colleges and universities, as well as our new colleges and universities that have been brought in by Mayor Smith within the City of Mesa. We're looking at expanding our learn-to-earn opportunities into the aerospace industry. We have a proposal on the plate right now to create a standalone college access center to provide broad college access opportunities among the residents of Mesa, and then also to continue looking at raising funds to continue our current programming and increase this within the next 5 years. And that is our brief overview. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there questions from the board? I want to make a, go ahead.
Well, just we've attended a couple of your annual events and heard a lot of successes beyond what you've mentioned here. I appreciate the fact that you're looking at continuing this effort. Thank you.
I was going to make a similar comment. Oftentimes, we get grants, and then when the grant's finished, we either have to pick it up or do something or let it go. And here's one that's continuing, and I think that's wonderful that you're doing that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Let's see, the NACCE Entrepreneurial College in Action Grant, 2013-2014. Dr. Sherry Olson.
Thank you. President Burke, members of the Governing Board, Chancellor Glasper, members of CEC, and audience members. I ask that Mr. Bruce McHenry approach the podium as I introduce him. The person behind the NACCE Entrepreneurial College in Action Grant Award is Bruce McHenry. Bruce brings 35 years of business experience in Fortune 500 companies as an entrepreneur and as a business and economics faculty at South Mountain Community College. After 25 years with major corporations like Bank of America and Marriott, Bruce went on to start or help start 6 businesses mostly in the area of financial advising, investing, and entrepreneurship. He began teaching part-time at the SMCC Guadalupe campus in 2002 and accepted a full-time teaching position at our college after that. Since 2012, when SMCC made an institutional commitment to grow its small business development efforts and entrepreneurship specifically, Bruce has either individually or with the help of a few of his colleagues secured more than $25,000 in grant funding for entrepreneurial programs and initiatives. He's currently the leading force behind SMCC's new Community Entrepreneurship Center. And with that, I'll turn it over to Bruce to tell you about the good news that he's up to at South Mountain.
Thank you, Sherry. President Burke, members of the board, Dr. Glasper, members of the Executive Council, and honored guests. I'm Bruce McHenry. I'm business faculty at South Mountain Community College. I'm also the director of our new Community Entrepreneurship Center. Tonight, I want to give you 3 words: build, fail, iterate. Build, fail, and iterate. That is the process of entrepreneurship. It is also the process of teaching entrepreneurship. As Dr. Olson says, at the National Conference for the National Association of Community College Entrepreneurship in October, South Mountain submitted and pitched a grant proposal for the Entrepreneurial College in Action, which is funded by the Coleman Foundation. 37 colleges submitted proposals. 18 made the first round of 10-minute pitches to a board. Of those 18, 13 moved forward to the second round. Of those 13, 11 received grants from the Coleman Foundation, of which South Mountain was one. We received a $15,000 grant. This grant proposal required an interdisciplinary collaboration. I worked with my faculty colleague, Liz Warren, who is storytelling faculty and director of the nationally recognized South Mountain Storytelling Institute, to create an interdisciplinary collaboration. Unfortunately, Liz is teaching tonight. She sends her regrets that she could not be here. The grant proposal, as we move forward over the next 11 months, has 2 parts. The first part is that we will create in South Mountain an internal entrepreneurial advisory council, which is to foster and be a model of interdisciplinary collaborations just like Liz and I created. We're looking for more collaboration between faculty, between staff, between faculty and staff, anything that can help us move forward. The goal of that to be a more entrepreneurial college and move forward that entrepreneurial culture. The majority of that grant funds, $12,000, will be used to create a venture capital seed fund. We will give up to 40 students a $250 seed fund award to create micro enterprises. They will have to meet certain requirements for that program. Some of those requirements are to take 2 classes, one of which is Principles of Entrepreneurship. They'll learn things like identifying and assessing business opportunities, business planning, resource planning, things like that. The second class is storytelling for business. Why storytelling? Some people say that's a strange combination. It's not. Right now, storytelling is one of the hottest things you can see in marketing and social media. If you want to engage your customers, your investors, your bankers, you need to tell a story. You need to give them an emotional reason to give you money as an entrepreneur. At the end of this program, which is in May, we're going to give our 40 students a chance to put their pitching skills to practice. We will have a judged venture pitch competition in which of these 40 students, 2 will receive an additional $500 and 1 will receive an additional $1,000 to move forward their micro enterprise. During the spring semester, we'll have a number of different entrepreneurship events, including public forums on the campus for our students and staff and the public at large to attend. Our lead-off speaker in January is going to be Rena Huber. Rena Huber was recently the director of the Arizona Public Service Small Business Academy. We're going to have a patent attorney come in and talk about intellectual property. And in April, right now, we're planning to invite a number of our local food truck entrepreneurs to come on campus, and you're all welcome to come down for lunch. I've also spoken with Susie Polito at the Corporate College and Jeff Seville at the Gateway Center for Entrepreneurial Innovation. They're very supportive of this initiative. We're going to take our 40 students on a field trip over to the CEI incubator, and Jeff has offered that when we do our venture pitch competition, the top 20 of our students will receive a free 6-month membership in the Fahrenheit Labs, which is the CEI's student business incubator, and that will begin next year in July. So as I talked about, I started with build, fail, and iterate. We're going to help students create 40 new micro enterprises. We know that failure occurs. That's just part of business. That's part of entrepreneurship. Students fail, but they're going to learn from it. Going forward, we may have 40 new businesses, or 20, or 10, but that's 10 or 20 more than we have right now, creating jobs and wealth, economic development, and workforce development. The students will learn and iterate what they've picked up from the program, and we at South Mountain, as academic entrepreneurs, we will learn and iterate and go forward. Thank you very much for your time.
Here.
I had the opportunity to be there during their pitch. I actually saw half a dozen other pitches before they got up, and was very proud of the fact that not only did you get $15,000, but their pitch was awesome. And I look forward to watching some of the pitches that your students make, because that was a television show.
Come on down. Thank you.
I love the idea of mixing storytelling with business, and because it is a story, and we all have a story to tell. And I know people are stop taking psychology classes, start taking storytelling classes instead, because it gets to the root of who you are, and it gets to the root of what businesses do and what they're selling and what they do.
Thank you very much. The external community, AADGB, the Arizona Association of District Governing Board members met during the Arizona Commission for Post-Secondary Education Conference last week. We had 16 or 17 governing board members from around the state to join us, and it was one of the first times that we've gotten together as a statewide group of trustees. We're meeting again on December 5. We're going to be discussing the legislative agenda for next year. At the meeting at the ACPE conference, we had representatives from Gila County and Santa Cruz. These are 2 provisional districts, and they are going to be joining us at the AADGB meetings, so that we'll have representation from those 2 counties who are looking to form their own districts ostensibly. Mr. Starr, ASBA report.
Coming up in a couple weeks is the annual ASBA convention here in the Phoenix area. I think a number of us are registered for that. And if I made my position on the ACCT governing board, we're getting ready for our 2014 National Legislative Conference in Washington, D.C., which we will also be attending. I've sat in on a couple of teleconference calls now on that organization, and a pretty full agenda will be in front of us in D.C., trying to make sure that Pell Grants are maintainable, as well as other funding sources and new initiatives regarding community colleges and their role in education in the United States. I look forward to it.
Thank you. The legislative update is Don Wallace. And Ms. Wallace, welcome to the district.
Yes, welcome.
Ms. Wallace is our newest hire to be our government relations person with the legislature, and we're happy to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
President Burke, members of the board, Chancellor Glasper, members of CEC, and our guests in attendance tonight, I would like to provide you with a brief legislative update. I will begin with our fiscal year 2015 budget submittal. On October 1st, the Arizona Community College Coordinating Council made a request to the governor for $17.8 million to fund the community college system's 3 statutory state aid formulas: maintenance and operations, equalization, and STEM workforce, formerly referred to as capital outlay. If fully funded, the impact to Maricopa would be roughly an incremental increase of $12.1 million, in addition, mostly primarily in additional STEM workforce dollars. On November 15th, 2013, the Arizona Community College Coordinating Council sent a follow-up letter to the governor requesting additional resources of $35 million. The request had 2 parts. One, a $1.5 million increase to each community college district base budget for a total of $15 million, and $20 million in programmatic funding to address the governor's Arizona Ready goals related to college degree completion and degree attainment. As the Chancellor mentioned to you this evening, we are currently working with the governor's office to add a new Arizona Ready goal specific to the community college system, specifically in the areas of associate degrees, certificates, and in-state university transfers. The $20 million in programmatic funding would fund this initiative through programs that would mitigate developmental education, provide financial assistance to students, expand dual enrollment courses, and emphasize student retention through more robust academic advisement. It was clearly delineated in the letter that this request was a system ask, as has been the practice of both the Arizona Community College President's Council and the Arizona Community College Coordinating Council for the last 2 years. However, the letter did recognize the unique character of each district and the need to distribute equity funding in a manner that allowed flexibility for each district. As you know, the legislative session will commence on Monday, January 13th, 2014. While the target date for every session is 100 days, conversations currently are mixed at the legislature on whether it will be a short or a long session. I believe that, as always, budget deliberations will dominate the work of the legislature. We know through conversations with the governor's office and certainly through recent media accounts that the Department of Economic Security and specifically the funding of Child Protective Services will be the focal point of the governor's budget. Another important point is that while there is a reported $1.3 billion ending balance, neither the governor's office or the legislature seems likely to spend those dollars in an ongoing permanent fashion. We will likely see recommendations for one-time expenditures, such as transportation infrastructure. As of today, there are 9 bills that have been introduced. 8 are vehicle or technical corrections, all by one sponsor, presumably for future legislative ideas. Thank you very much for your time today, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next meeting will occur on December 10, 2013, here in the Governing Board room. It is a regular board meeting, and with that, this meeting is adjourned.